bugging your political enemies in the middle of the night, to secretly recording every conversation in the Oval Office, to becoming the first and only US president to resign in disgrace. This is the Watergate Scandal Explained. An event so crazy, it started with a basic security guard finding something fishy and ended in the biggest presidential cover-up in American history. But first, we need to go back to 1972, when Richard Milhouse Nixon was on top of the world, because he signed a treaty with the Soviet Union, was winding down the war in Vietnam, and opened relations with China, something no president had done in over 2 decades. As a result, Nixon's approval rating was sky high. He was cruising toward what everyone expected to be one of the biggest re-election landslides in American history. What could possibly go wrong? Well, here's the thing you need to know about Richard Nixon. The man was paranoid. Like, clinically, obsessively, keep a list of your enemies paranoid. And I'm not being dramatic. He literally had an enemies list. We're talking journalists, politicians, activists, celebrities. Anyone who ever looked at Nixon the wrong way ended up on that list. And this wasn't just some petty burn book. Nixon's White House used the IRS, the FBI, and the CIA to go after these people. Sir, Barbra Streisand's yapping about you again. Shall we bring her in? The man was the most powerful person on earth, and he was still looking over his shoulder. But at the time, Nixon had a re-election campaign to run, and his team was called the Committee to Re-elect the President. A nickname so perfect, it sounds like a joke. CRP, or as the press loved to call it, Creep. I am not making that up. Creep was the name. And oh boy did they earn it. Cause Creep wasn't just running a normal campaign. They were running a full-blown espionage operation. We're talking sabotage of Democratic candidates, fake letters designed to destroy campaigns, and, oh yeah, breaking into the homes of Nixon's political opponents to steal information and plant bugs. Which brings us to June 17, 1972, and the most famous building in scandal history, the Watergate Complex. Cause the Watergate was a luxury hotel and office complex in Washington, D.C., a fancy place with curved balconies and Potomac River views. It also happened to be the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee. And at approximately 1 a.m., 5 men in business suits wearing rubber surgical gloves crept through the darkened hallways of the DNC offices on the 6th floor. They carried lockpicks, bugging devices, cameras, and rolls of $100 bills with sequential serial numbers. Their mission? Get dirt on the Democrats. But here's the thing. This wasn't even their first time. They'd actually broken in weeks earlier and successfully planted listening devices. They were just coming back because one of the bugs wasn't working right. But this time, they slipped up. Because Frank Wills, a 24-year-old $80 a week security guard, noticed something odd. A piece of tape over a door latch in the parking garage, keeping it from locking. He peeled it off and kept walking. But when he came back around on his next round, the tape was back. Someone had retaped it. So Frank Wills didn't shrug it off. Instead, he called the police. And within minutes, 3 plainclothes officers arrived. They swept the building floor by floor. And when they reached the 6th floor, the DNC offices, they found 5 men crouched behind desks in the dark. Busted! The 5 burglars were arrested on the spot. And within hours, reporters started asking a very dangerous question. Who sent them? And at first, the White House played it cool. Nixon's press secretary called the break-in a third-rate burglary attempt and said it didn't deserve the White House's attention. Translation? Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. And honestly, for a minute, it worked. Nixon won the 1972 election in a landslide, carrying 49 out of 50 states against Democrat George McGovern, one of the most dominant victories in American history. But 2 young reporters at the Washington Post weren't buying it. Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, 2 relatively unknown journalists, started pulling the thread.